It was back in May here at Misano. We raced the first round of the series, and now we return to the Adriatic coast of Italy for the title decider. Hello and welcome to the championship final here at the MotoGP circuit of Misano, the 12th season of the world's most competitive junior car racing series. This weekend, we will crown a new champion. Nice to have your company wherever you are watching us live around the world. It is a packed weekend with 5 races on the program, starting with this. This is B versus C. We've divided the field into groups because there's 44 drivers here for the series final. Qualifying taking place yesterday evening. 2 pole sitters. Let's hear from them now.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a tough quali. I had Keen in my group, and I knew we had some good pace in the FP, and I think I was able to get a good lap in quali and just get it done. Yeah, I'm going to try my best. Obviously, the team has done really well. They gave me a really good car, and let's see what we can do in the races tomorrow.
Mathematically, the championship may be out of sight. What are you hoping for this weekend?
Finish every race first.
Gabriel Gomez, last round of the championship. Fantastic start to the weekend. You've taken outright pole position. How was qualifying?
Whoa. So, to be honest, for me, the day was really good overall. I think we worked a lot on the test here with the team, and the team did a really good job. 2 good laps. The second one was a little bit better to do the pole overall, so I'm really happy to start the last round of the championship like this. And we will fight until the very last moment to try to bring the title. But I know it will be a hard week for sure. It will be difficult, but we will try everything. Yeah, I'm very honored to be a Brazilian and to wear this flag with me every time. Obrigado, pessoal. Vamos pra cima.
Sebastian Weldon taking pole position in the first group of qualifying yesterday with 1:35.621. But outright pole, the second group for Gabriel Gomez, a 35.577. It is Sebastian who will start pole position for this. The first of 5 races here this weekend. Yes, 44 drivers on the grid. We have exceeded the track capacity, and thus the field is divided. There is Sebastian to the right of your screen. Of course, Ki Nakamura is the championship leader as we take a look at the grid. The Japanese driver starts out at grid 5. His Prema Racing teammate, Sebastian, fastest in Q1 yesterday on pole alongside Salim Hana. Max Popov, car 3, position 3, and Luca Samalisto, the Finn for Us Racing, out of grid 4. Ki Nakamura, he's the championship leader. Car 51 starts out of grid 5. Alongside his Williams Prema Racing teammate, Alexander Bondarev. Great performance from Kirill Kutskov, the former World Kart Racing champion for Maffei Racing, out of grid 7. And Reno Frankot, the Dutchman who recently made his debut in the Formula Regional European Championship, starts out of grid 8. David Cosma Christopher, Marcus Sata, the Romanian on Norwegian drivers on the 5th row of the grid, Artem Severukian and Dante Vinci out of grid 12. Then it's Alex Powell, Nicolo Macagnani. On debut is the Ferrari Driver Academy Junior, Alexander Ruta. Elia Weiss, one of 2 Cram Motorsport drivers, starts out of grid 16. Another German just behind Elia, that's Matilda Parts. Then the Sicilian Ludovico Busso, Emily Cotti, Theo Schropp, the New Zealander, and the Argentine on the 10th row of the grid. Oscar Repetto, another New Zealander, is alongside Florentin Hattemeyer. Makes his debut for the Jensen Motorsport team, the Californian Peyton Westcott. Guy Albag, the Israeli, out of grid 24 for RSGP. Andre Rodriguez from Colorado in the United States. Antonio Erigo also makes his debut, ahead of his Techno Race teammate Francesco Coppola. Philip Strange and Nathaniel Berraby round out the field. 29 cars on the grid. Yes, the first of 5 races this weekend. We'll just explain the situation. The track capacity is 36 cars, 44 drivers here this weekend. Thus, the field divided into 4 groups. 36 just to make it through to the final tomorrow. But then, you may remember we had a massive start line crash at Imola earlier on in the season where the race was red flagged with 14 cars eliminated. That race will be replayed, restarted tomorrow afternoon. So that effectively is the championship decider. That will be the 5th race of the weekend. As you see Alexander Ruti go through, he's had a good season. The pole for Van Amersfoort Racing. The first of 5 races here this weekend. The championship will be decided. It is Ken Nakamura-Berta, 289 points. Starts grid 5, Gabriel Gomez. He will start pole position for the 2nd race later today. He's not on the field in this first race. He's in Group A. This is Group B versus C. Ken Nakamura-Berta, the championship leader from Gabriel Gomez, 289 points, 216 to Gabriel. And Sebastian, it is Weldon, 3rd in the championship, 175 points. On your screen, on pole position, the Andretti Jr. to lead us away for the first of 5 races here this weekend. Perfect conditions here on Italy's Adriatic coast, the famous Misano MotoGP circuit, home of the Italian MotoGP, of course. A long history also in single-seater racing, European Formula 2. Stop off here in the early 1980s, and the series opener and decider for 2025, the world's most competitive junior car racing series, the Italian F.4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion, together with the Automobile Club of Italy. The green flag at the back of the grid, Sebastian on pole position. We race for the first time here this weekend at Misano. Great getaway from Sebastian Weldon. Not the best start from the Colombian. Salim Hana on the inside is about to be passed because Lucas sends it down the inside. Superb start from the Finn. He goes through to P3. Samalisto up into 3rd place. Max in P2, car 3 for Van Amersfoort Racing. A clean start as the field go through the S's up to the Rio curves for the first time. Samalisto on the inside of Alexander Bondarev, the Williams Jr., but it's Sebastian Weldon from pole position from Florida in the United States of America, who leads here for the first time this morning. Clean start as they go down into La Quercia. Turn 8 for the first time. There's Popov in 2nd place. We just got a glimpse for the first time of Nicolo Maccagnani on debut. He's the highly rated young Italian. We saw one driver with a dislodged front wing. Inevitably, we'll have to make a stop. It's one of the PHM cars. It is David Cosman-Christopher. So the driver from Bucharest, who took pole position at Rome earlier in the year, you may remember, has not got off to the best start. In fact, it may well be his teammate. We'll get back to that in just a moment. Sebastian Weldon with the race lead. Good start from Kirill Kutskov, the former kart racing world champion, car 31, up into position 6. The Maffey Racing Team driver. Also good getaway from Dante Vinci from Sydney, Australia. He's in P7, the 2nd rookie in the early stages. Into pit lane, the PHM Racing Team about to go to work. Sebastian Weldon across the line for the first time. The gap is just 0.3 of a second. Alexander Ruta on the outside of Cosma-Christopher. So it was not David, it was in fact Reno Francot, his teammate, with the dislodged front wing. Reno has just pulled into pit lane in car 69. We stay green for the moment. That's not a help for the Dutchman, who did win at the Euro Series at Paul Ricard earlier on in the year. There's his teammate, David Cosma-Christopher, going on through. Weldon, as Popov locks up. Samalisto in 3rd place. Reno Francot, I can tell you, has just left pit lane now with a new front wing. He's 30 seconds behind the final runner, Emily Cotti, and down in 29th and last place. There is Alexander Bondarev behind Dante Vinci. Weldon, as they go down the back straight, trying to shake Max Popov. The gap, 0.3 of a second. Popov looking good. He's been on the podium multiple times thus far in 2025, but has not stood on the top step. His best opportunity of taking victory in the first of 5 races here this weekend. There's Dante Vinci as Bondarev just locks up ever so slightly. Popoff right on the back of Weldon. That's Kirill Kutskov. Going on through in car 31, P6 for the Maffei Racing team. The Swiss team with their roots deep in the heart of Africa in Ethiopia in car 31. Just getting ahead as Dante Vinci with that slight error going wide. Holds off Bondarev for the moment. The Australian from the Ukrainian, the Russian, the former World Kart Racing champion. He won that title in 2023 with DPK Racing. Best performance of the year for Kirill Kutskov, who's P6 outright as Kin Nakamura Berta needs the points here this weekend. He's up into position 4 on the back of Lucas Samalisto, who defends into turn 8. Around the outside, Kin Nakamura Berta, what a super move. The Japanese driver takes the fin for 3rd place. Marcus Sata has also just left pit lane, down in 27th position. Kin Nakamura Berta had to fight over 3 corners, but has now gone through on Lucas Samalisto. Now has to defend. He did not get the best run going onto the back straight. Samalisto just behind. Back to Salim Hanna. Then Kutskov, Vinci, Bondarev. Artem Severukian also in trouble in the early stages. Has also left pit lane now. So Sata, Frankot and Severukian all with damage in the early stages of the first of 5 races here this weekend. But we stay green, and it's Sebastian Weldon. Cast your minds back to the very first race of the 2025 season. He took his first victory in Europe at this very track. And the American, the Andretti Jr., does lead as Nakamura Berta just rides the ripple strip going wide, coming onto the straight. But now cements his place in position 3. This is critical, of course, for the championship leader, Kutskov. Going through from Vinci. On your screen is the driver from Sydney, Australia. Had a super test here a couple of weeks ago. Lost the pace yesterday in free practice and qualifying, but he's found it once again here this morning. Car 66 in 7th, ahead of the Williams F1 Junior, Alexander Bondarev, who won at Imola earlier in the season. Teo Schropp, David Kosman, Christopher on your screen. So Teo for Jensen Motorsport from Argentina, now inside the top 10. Kosman, Christopher, Powell, Busso, Macagnani, Weiss. Great start from Guy Albag, who is up into 16th position. Coming from 24th on the grid, the Israeli for RA's GP. Head of Oscar Peto and Florentin Hattemau. We'll try and get a look at the Swiss driver throughout the weekend. On debut, after a super career with the Victory Lane kart racing team of Nico Martins, now racing with Jensen Motorsport. The Swiss driver with the Swiss team in position 18 on debut in the final round of the Italian Championship. There is the Italian champion leader, championship leader going through. Nakamura Berta, this is his teammate Salim Hanna, who is the top rookie. Lucas Samalisto, P3 off the start, comes across the line as we start lap 5. He's in 4th place. Sebastian Weldon leads and puts the gap out to over 1 second now. Nakamura Berta in P3. This is Popoff, trying to break through for his first victory of 2025. There is the championship leader. Kin Nakamura Berta was, well, let's just say politely, he was upset, although it wasn't a bad qualifying yesterday for the Japanese star. Goes fastest with a 36.486. Wanted to nail down pole position. That did not happen. Just needs a solid result, and he will become the 12th champion in the history of the world's most competitive junior car racing series, the Italian F.4 Championship. And the first Japanese driver potentially. Gabriel Gomez watching on from pit lane. He'll start from pole position for the second race of the weekend later this weekend, trying to keep his championship hopes alive. This is Max going through down the back straight, just over 230 kilometers an hour. Nakamura Berta, car 51 in 3rd place. Comes out of turn 14, Caro, and then the double left-handers coming onto the start-finish straight on lap 5. The gap exactly 1 second between Weldon and Popoff that time. The Prema Racing team, they have dominated the history over the past, well, more than one decade of the Italian F4 Championship. Multiple teams' titles. They've won the Drivers' Championship. Probably, I have to do some quick mathematics here. Of course, we go back to the first year. Lance Stroll in 2014. Ralph Aron, who's making a nice career in GT3 racing, the Estonian. Of course, older brother of Paul Aron, who raced with Prema as well and took multiple podiums. First two champions for the Prema Racing team in 14 and 15. Marcus Siebert for Jensen Motorsport in 2016. Marcus Armstrong, who has re-signed with Meyer Schenk Racing also for 2026 in the IndyCar World Series. He was the 2017 champion, as was Enzo Fittipaldi, also for the Prema Racing team in 2018. Dennis Hauger, who will make his debut also in the NTT IndyCar World Series next year. He was a 2019 champion for Van Amersfoort Racing. Gabriele Mini, the first Italian to win the National Series. That was for the Prema Racing team in 2020. Ollie Behrman, the now Haas F1 driver, 2021 champion for the Dutch team. Antonelli in 22. Casper Stuka, who won in that nail-biting final round in 2023 for the US Racing team. And of course, last year was Fast Freddie Slater, who became the 11th champion. So quick mathematics. Just give me a moment. Lance, Ralph, Marcus, Enzo, Gabri, Andrea. 6 times the Prema Racing team have won the Drivers' Championship. And as Kin Nakamura Berta goes fastest, potentially a 7th Drivers' title for the team from Grisignano Vicenza, just to the west of the northern Italian city of Venice. Kin Nakamura Berta has a strong weekend. He's made a strong start from grid 5. He's in 3rd place. His teammate leads, Sebastian Welding, going down into turn 8 into La Quercia on a beautiful autumn morning here at Misano as Popov locks up. This is Samalisto. Great launch off the line for the Finn. Sebastian from P1. Nakamura Berta is closing in on the back of Max Popov. A 36.3, he was 3/10 of a second faster than the Van Amersfoort Racing driver, but Max Popov trying to take his first victory of 2025. Those speeds across the start-finish line, they're much quicker than that down the back straight. Telemetry telling us just on about 230 kilometres an hour. On the absolute edge there is Kin Nakamura Berta. So 13 minutes remaining, approaching half race distance. A clean race here for the weekend. For the first of 5 races here this weekend. 2nd generation racer Sebastian Weldon. Elder of the 2 Weldon brothers, of course, young Oliver. His brother watching on from the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. Also making a career for himself in the US Junior Series. Nakamura Berta keeping the car straight and closing in on the back of Popov down into turn 8. 36.301, fastest on track last time around at 36.560 for Max Popov. He's closing up to the back of the Van Amersfoort Racing driver. And Sebastian Weldon almost 2 seconds clear now. Again, another front lock-up from Max Popov going on to the back straight. Every inch of the racetrack for Kin Nakamura Berta tries to get the run. Back to Samalisto, Salim Hanna, the top rookie in 5th place from Kutskov, Vinci, Bondarev, Ruta, and Teo Strop. Kin Nakamura Berta, every point is valuable in the title fight against the Brazilian Gabriel Gomez. Into turn 16. Kin Nakamura Berta on the power early, keeps that wheel incredibly straight. Very smooth style. It will be hard to rattle Max Popov though. They've gone wheel to wheel over the past decade in WSK World Karting. From 60 Mini to OK Junior, the senior OK category. course, King Nakamura, former European champion as well. There is Samalisto, the top rookie. Salim Hana, car 88. P5, the top rookie. Second rookie is Bondarev now, who's got by Dante Vinci, the Australian. Car 66 in P8 from his Van Amersfoort Racing teammate. Ruta, Schropp, Cosmo Christopher, Powell, Busso, Macagnani, Elia Weiss, Guy Elbag, Oscar Repeto, Hattemer, Francesco Coppola for Techno Race. Matilda Parts, Phil Strange, the two Germans, Emily Cotti, Edigo, Peyton Westcott, Berby, Rodriguez, and then Francot, Sata, and Severukin. Those final three have all made a stop earlier in the race for damage as we go into the final 10 minutes in just a moment. It's a clean race, thankfully, for the first time here this weekend after some of the chaotic events we've had in what's been a spectacular 2025 series. Max Popov. Now under pressure from the championship leader, Kin Nakamura comes out of turn 14. This just a few moments ago, Strange going very wide just behind it looked to be. Nathaniel Berby going very wide off the circuit. Into the grass goes grass tracking, does the Swiss Nathaniel. Brings it back on track, nicely held. He's dropped the positions as Westcott, Rodriguez and Edigo go on by, but he's back on track running in 26th position. Nakamura getting close to the back of Max Popov now. The final 10 minutes of the race. The lead 1.8 seconds from Sebastian Weldon. Back to Max Popov. Down into turn 8, into La Quercia. Too far back this time, but he is closing as again Max Popov. He's locked up the fronts multiple times this race, but car 3 still in position 2, 2 seconds back now off the race leader, Sebastian Weldon. Again, another lock up. There's Samalisto going through for us, racing in car 7. Down the back straight, Max Popov tries to shake Kin Nakamura, the championship leader. Watch the move up into turn 14 if he can do it. Nakamura has a look down the inside, tucked under the rear wing of car 3 for Van Amersfoort Racing as they accelerate. Max Popov with the defense here early this morning. The first of 5 races here this weekend, gets the wide line. Nakamura this time works the steering wheel, gets the slipstream. Across the start-finish line, now in 6th gear, just over 210 kilometres an hour into the first of the S's here up into the Rio curves. The gap, 1.9 seconds, we'll call it 2 dead from Weldon to Popov, Nakamura, Samalisto, that's Salim Hana going through. Then we wait for Kirill Kutskov, Bondarev, that's Vinci. Back to Alexander Ruta and Teo Schropp, the Argentine, still inside the points in P10. Great performance for the Maffei Racing Team driver. On your screen now, here's Kirill Kutskov. Bondarev, who took outright victory at Imola, the Williams Jr., is behind. The 2023 World Kart Racing Champion has a look down the inside into turn 8. And the Maffei Racing driver, Kutskov, in P6. Holds off the Williams Jr. for the moment. Vinci just behind. His Polish teammate, Alexander Ruta, big look down the inside. Bondarev sends it on the inside of Kirill Kutskov. Nicely done. He's gone on through. Vinci also tries to take Kirill, who gives the slipstream in turn to Alexander Ruta. Vinci on the inside, wheel to wheel at over 200 kilometres an hour. Dante Vinci, he'll have the line into turn 14. The cutback from Kirill Kutskov. Dante Vinci's awake for it. Alexander Ruta on the outside. Bondarev escapes clear. Alexander's gone through. Dante's gone through, so position 6. He's back to P8 now. He's Kirill Kutskov on your screen. Comes across the line, has lost 2 positions in that lap as we go into the final 7 minutes of the first race here this morning. Now has to defend from Alexander Ruta. Big ambitious launch as the inside front gets very light. Just centre did Alexander Bondarev who now goes through to position 6. Nice pass. There is Ruta just behind. Teo Schropp, Cosmo Christopher. This is Alex Powell, who's had, well, let's just be honest, it's been a frustrating year for the Mercedes Junior. 2 fantastic outright wins at Mugello earlier in the season. He's still running 5th in the series, as you see Kin Nakamura-Berta on the outside has gone on through to take 2nd place from Max Popov. Now covers off the line. Max Popov with the run. He's on the inside, now cuts back to the outside. Kin Nakamura-Berta, the championship leader, in 2nd place. Watch the cutback now from Max Popov. Kin Nakamura-Berta knows it's coming. He defends. There's Samalisto in the background. Sebastian Weldon is walking away with this, the first race of the weekend, as Kin Nakamura-Berta, the championship leader from grid 5, goes through on car 3 into 2nd place. Popov still on the podium, but KNB has gone through into P2. Weldon 2.3 seconds clear, 3 seconds clear in fact as they cross the line. Great pass from Kin Nakamura-Berta. Popov went defensive coming out of La Quercia. 2 defensive, no problem for KNB around the outside. Had the grip, had the momentum, had the speed. 2 defensive that time from Max Popov. And Nakamura-Berta is through into 2nd place. There's the gap from the race leader. The American back to the Japanese driver, Kin Nakamura-Berta. There's the Finn. Lucas Samalisto and Salim Hanna just behind. Still the top rookie. In fact, the rookie drivers, 5, 6, and 7 on track. Hanna from Bondarev and Dante Vinci. Down the back straight, it's been a clean race. 29 drivers on track for the first of 4 or 3 heat races here this weekend. Out of the 44 drivers entered for this, the final round of the 2025 championship, the 12th season. And of course, in 2026, the series only gets bigger with the first signing for the new Trident racing team. Well, certainly new to the Italian F.4 Championship. Multiple victories in FIA Formula 2 and champions, as well as in Formula 3. Augusto Tognolo will join us on the grid with the Trident racing team. Will make their debut in the Italian F4 Series in the 13th season of this championship, launched back in 2014 by WSK Promotion together with the Automobile Club of Italy. The inaugural title won by the now Aston Martin F1 driver, the Canadian Lance Stroll. Lanama Sport Racing, this is Max Popov. They've twice won the title with Dennis in 2019 and Ollie in 2021. They're running 3rd at the moment with Max Popov into La Quercia. A cool morning here as we go into autumn time here in the Northern Hemisphere. Thankfully, beautiful sunshine. There is no rain forecast all weekend. But the track quite cool here this morning. You can see multiple lockups on this circuit, home of the Italian MotoGP, which is deceptively cambered here. This is Popov down the back straight behind Nakamura-Berta. It's looking good for the Japanese driver, championship-wise. Will pick up almost maximum points here this morning. Lucas Samalisto trying to get the final podium position. 2 minutes 30 plus 1 lap remaining in this qualifying heat. B versus C. It is a race in its own right, though. Weldon, who took victory in the season opener here at Misano, looking good to win the first race of the weekend as well. The gap out to 3.5 seconds. The Prema Racing team run 1, 2. Back to Popov. This is Samalisto. Luca in car 7 for the German team, the driver from Finland. ...2022 Finnish kart racing champion, the driver from Jovarvi. And I No, I did not even pronounce that close to correctly. Let's just say it's a couple of 100 kilometres from Helsinki, and it's already starting to get frighteningly cold in Luca's home country. It's a beautiful autumnal morning here, though, and Luca Samalisto is closing in on the back of Max Popov. He was running third earlier on. This is Salim Hanna. Weldon back to Nakamura Berta, Popov and Samalisto. Car 3 in position 3. It looks as though we will have 2 laps remaining at the end of this one. 25 minutes plus 1 lap for the 3 races, and then the final tomorrow, and then what is effectively the championship final. We replay the red flagged race from Imola from earlier in the season, the 5th race, which was cancelled after just 16 seconds when a multiple start line crash eliminated 14 cars. We weren't able to restart. We replay that race. We re-race that race, which never happened at Imola. Tomorrow afternoon here at Misano. That will effectively be the championship decider for the 2025 Italian F4 Championship. Nakamura Berta is looking good to take the title, though. Gabriel Gomez not in this race. He'll be on track, on pole position for the second race of the weekend. That is at 20 past 1 local time. So just on 4 hours from now. Frustrated will Gabriel Gomez be in a sporting sense. He won't want Nakamura Berta to score points, but he's about to pick up almost maximum points, you would think, as we pass the 25-minute mark. So this is the penultimate lap of the race. Nakamura Berta escapes now from Popov. There's Sebastian Weldon. Let's give the Americans some credit. Has got the lead over 3 seconds now. He won the first race of the championship at this circuit from Salim Hanna and Gabriel Gomez. Back on the first weekend of May as Popov locks up. Samalisto senses his opportunity to get up onto the podium. Van Amersfoort Racing versus Us Racing. The final step of the podium, the first race here this weekend. Luca has a look into the final corner. Just tries to shake Max Popov. You can see the Schuberth helmet of the VAR driver just stare to the right. Into the right side mirrors, he's looking. The gap, you can see it's only about 2 or 3 car lengths on this, the final lap of the race. Nakamura Berta in P2. Almost one hand on the championship trophy for 2025. Sebastian Weldon about to take his 4th victory of the season and cement his place in 3rd in the championship. Down the back straight into La Quercia for the final time. The championship leader in position 2, then Popov, Samalisto, and Salim Hanna. He's too far back, but he's the top rookie and he's catching in P5. The Prema Racing team, that was Newman Chi to the left of your screen. He'll be on track also in the second race later on today. Watching on his teammates, plural, in positions 1 and 2. The Andretti Jr. What a future this kid has got. The second generation racer. He took victory in the very first race here back on the first weekend of May. His father, the late great Dan, watching on from up above. 2-time Indianapolis 500 winner. The Cadillac Andretti Jr. driver rounds the final few corners. He will win the first race here this weekend. Nakamura Berta has put one hand on the trophy. He'll come home in position 2. But for the first time this weekend, the checkered flag will wave all the way from the USA. Sebastian Weldon takes victory in the first race here this weekend. Nakamura Berta, that is critical. He's home in 2nd place. And Popov, car 3 in position 3. Samalisto Hanna wins the rookie race from Bondarev. And Dante Vinci Kutskov home in 8th from Alexander Ruta. There's Teo Schropp, the Argentine, in P10. Nikki Cadet to the right of your screen, team manager for the Prema Racing F4 team. Angelo Rosin to the left, who founded the legendary team Prema Racing back in 1983. They're celebrating on pit wall, and I'll tell you why. Their mathematics is obviously better than ours because they believe Kin Nakamura-Berta may have won the title. That is very provisional. We'll put an asterisk beside that statement. Certainly one hand on the trophy. Lucas Amalisto, incidentally, credit to the Finn, has missed the podium, but has taken the fastest lap of the race, or recorded it, a 1:36.155. Yes, Lucas Amalisto just did miss the podium, but has clocked the fastest lap of the race. Word coming through, Kin Nakamura-Berta is not the champion yet, but he is tantalizingly close. He just needs another point from the weekend. Gabriel Gomez watching on from pit lane. He'll start from pole position for the second race of the weekend at 1:20 later this afternoon. Credit to Sebastian, though. He takes victory, dominates the weekend opener. Kin Nakamura-Berta so close to the title in second place. Car 3 in position 3. Pop off from Samalisto with the fastest lap of the race. From Hanna, who wins the rookie race. From Bondarev, Vinci, Kutskov, Ruta, Schropp, and David Cosmo Christopher just outside the top 10. Nakamura-Berta, P2, close to the title, but not yet. 307 points to 216. Of course, Gabriel Gomez was not on track this morning. He'll start pole position for the second race later today. Sebastian Weldon, critically, he's only 16 points now behind Gabriel Gomez in the fight for second in the series. Sebastian Weldon won the first race of the 2025 championship right here at Misano back on the first weekend of May. And he wins the first race of the weekend, the championship decider, also here this weekend. No, 98. Number 98. Sì, 98. Yes, 98. He just won the race. Sebastian Weldon. There's Matilda Parts just to the right. She's won the women's trophy, in fact, just ahead of Emily Cotti and Peyton Westcott. We'll try and hear from Sebastian Weldon in just a moment. Car 3 in position 3. Max Popov takes another podium in the 2025 Series 4 Van Amersfoort Racing. Nakamura-Berta, P2, and so close to becoming the first Japanese driver to win the Italian Championship. But victory, again, his fourth win of 2025. The Andretti Jr. for the Prema Racing Team, car 98, Sebastian Weldon, who's in pit lane, speaking with Laura Calder.
So congratulations, you dominated the race. It was a lights flag victory for you.
Yeah, overall it was a good race. Just managed the gap at the start and was able to build a decent gap behind. And yeah, I can't thank Prema enough for all their support, and let's get it in other races.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulated by his mother there, Susie. He'll stand on the top step of the podium as we take a look at the highlights from the first race of the weekend. Sebastian Weldon. The The American started from pole position. It was a slow getaway from Salim Hanna as Luca Samalisto launched up the inside to go through to position 3. Took the Colombian, did the Finn. But Sebastian Weldon went P1 from pole position. Great launch from Max Popov to go into second place. Samalisto into third, as Kin Nakamura Berta already going by into fourth place. Great start from Kirill Gutskov, the Muffy Racing driver, into sixth place. It was a clean start with the exception of Marcus Sata, Artem Severukin and Reno Frankot. Those three drivers had to pit for new front wings. No safety car intervention throughout the entire 17 laps. Lucas Samalisto having to concede the place to Kin Nakamura Berta, who picked them off one by one to pick up second place points. Great pass by Alexander Bondarev. And this around the outside, Kin Nakamura Berta into Tramonto to go by Max Popov for second place. But Sebastian, well done, Weldon. He takes victory in the first of 5 races here this weekend. Max Popov on the podium again in 2025. Third place for VAR, Kin Nakamura Berta, K&B, car 51, the championship leader in second place. And Weldon from the United States of America wins here this morning. Once again, a great pleasure to have the great Giancarlo Minardi, who founded his legendary Formula One team not too far from here at Faenza back in 1985. Of course, a long history in Formula 2 and Formula 3 dating back to the 1970s. Giancarlo presents the trophies to Max, Kin and Sebastian, and the Prema Racing team, team's champion again.
Grande applauso e ora è il momento ovviamente delle foto. So please can you just pick up your trophies and climb the main step of the
Kin Nakamura Berta just needs another point to claim the 2025 championship. Second in the series though is Gabriel Gomez, and he will start from pole position for the second of 5 races here this weekend. That is at 1:20, so just under 3 hours from now. The second of 5 races here this weekend. Sebastian Weldon takes victory here at Misano. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. We'll see you for race 2 later this afternoon, live from here at Misano.